Yeah, see, I'll tell you what concerns me about this as a mum to a little 2-year-old myself. So you're absolutely right, completely respectful. I'm completely respectful of trans people, and I actually feel sorry for them often because this conversation seems to happen about them, and there's something quite unedifying about this. But what I feel very strongly is that most trans people want to be left alone, leave me alone, let me get on with my life, you know, whatever. It's the organisations, it's the activist groups that are doing this, creating a division, sowing a divide, so that they themselves can swoop in and profiteer off the back of this. Oh, you know, there's this situation with trans, oh, dear nurseries, allow me to come in and show you the courses that I've developed to give to your children. Oh, workforces, allow me to create this index that I've created so you can mark yourself, and here's some training. And I do think it's dangerous because the article that you read, when you read the article that the Stonewall tweet refers to, it's about a 4-year-old, this article. And the 4-year-old, the parent has written this. The parent is a trans woman themselves, and they're writing about this 4-year-old, that the first time this 4-year-old girl said that she was a boy, and I'm quoting directly, it came unprompted, bubbling from somewhere pure and certain inside of her. My husband and I took to asking whether she felt like a boy or a girl, or neither, to let her know we were listening and keeping tabs on any progress either way. I marvelled at how self-assured she already is. So then it goes on, because the nursery basically wasn't aligned with some of this, and this parent was saying how concerned they were. And I worry about this, Jeevan, because this poor child, you know, 1 minute she's saying I'm a boy, tomorrow she's probably saying she's a unicorn, the next day, if she's anything like my kid, she'll probably think she's a flapjack, or at least want to be. And that's just part of being a child. And when you start saying to this child, well, actually, are you a boy or neither, or are you a girl, you're planting in this child an ideology that's based often on a fallacy, because biological sex is real. I'm very conscious I'm speaking at you, I'm ranting everyone, and I'm sorry, I will pause for breath and shut up in a second and let you respond, but I just feel like we're planting this ideology into these children's minds in order to be kind while disrespecting basic, simple facts.
So I mean, I'm not there with the parent of this child, I don't know. I suppose this child also could change their mind very easily and very much so. One thing I find very difficult personally about this is that I have no idea, I can't imagine the experience of being transgender, and I can't imagine if I was transgender when I would have first known about it. And I can see the worries and the concerns, but I honestly don't know, and I don't know what it would mean to be a transgender child, or when those things, or when you start to have those feelings or start to move towards it. And in this case, look, it's very possible that this child either does or does not end up becoming a transgender adult. I have no idea.
The child won't, because a lot of the time, gender dysphoria is triggered by a range of other things, especially for children as well. It might be emotional problems that they're having, problems with their identity growing up. It might be family issues. There was one story of a child who was convinced that they were a girl, and it turned out that when they began having sessions with a therapist, it turned out that this was actually triggered by the fact that their parents had always wanted a girl, so therefore felt as though they had to live up to their parents' expectations. A lot of the time there are other things going on. Not every single child that expresses an interest in things that are normally attributed to the opposite sex means that they're transgender. And sometimes it may be that those children also then grow up to be gay or lesbian. And there's a very big difference between that and simply believing you're a different sex altogether. And I think we tend to forget that as well. Expressing interest in things that are attributed to another gender doesn't mean you're transgender. It could just mean you grow up to then be lesbian or gay. It doesn't have to always be about being trans.